Ready for a no meat, no egg, no dairy, fast, low cost, little energy to make, great tasting meal? Then let's make one. Hey, hello. I'm gonna make one of my favorite pasta dishes. I just love this. I eat this actually every Friday night. And the reason I do that is because I love pasta and I eat pasta and get some carbs going in my system and stuff for the next day because I do carbs again in the morning and I go on my bike ride. So Saturday mornings I ride my bike from my house and up to the observatory. Griffith Park Observatory, and then back every Saturday. That's my bike ride, my exercise. So this is really, it's not your typical spaghetti and what you would call meatballs. These are vegan balls, and it's just done with garlic and olive oil and salt and pepper, and cilantro, green onions, and fresh basil. And what goes in it is the vegan balls. I get these frozen. They are the best. I mean, they are the best. Better than I can ever make them. They're fantastic. And the 3 of them are 15 grams of protein. So with all the rest of the stuff that goes in this, it's roughly about 20 grams of protein just in this dinner, which is great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prep this all up. So I'm gonna get my oyster mushrooms a little bit steamed and just a little bit steamed on my asparagus. So it's not raw, but it's like just blanched. And I do that in the microwave. It's a very simple process. I put a little bit of water in this bowl. And again, one bowl, simple, low energy. This dish comes out just amazing, just absolutely amazing. And I've been making it for years and years and years. So I'm gonna put the oyster mushrooms in here and the broccoli, and the asparagus in here, and that's gonna go in the microwave, and then I'm gonna do my garlic. So my garlic is, I chop this up, oh God, that smells so good. Okay, I chop this up just like 3 big bulbs, and then all the little cloves inside, and it usually makes a full jar of this, which is really nice. And I just scoop this out, like about, that's right there. Roughly in the bottom of this ramekin, it's just covering everything roughly at the thickness of the garlic itself. So it's really great. It's just sitting in the bottom there, and I'll show you what that looks like. What I do is I take aluminum foil and I mold it into this ramekin, just like this. And the beauty of this is the ramekin retains all the heat and keeps all the heat and pushes it into the aluminum. And you don't get any direct fire on the aluminum, so you're not causing any issues with the metallic stuff coming off the aluminum. It just goes in the toaster oven and just sautés itself. It's just a fantastic way to do it. So what I do is I cover this with olive oil, naturally. So I make sure they're all submerged a little bit. Not quite submerged, but enough oil on it to get around everything. And then I do just a little bit of salt, not much, about 2 cranks in there, that's it. And that's it. This goes into the toaster oven for roughly about, it takes about 12, 13 minutes right in there. And these just come out so beautifully golden brown with the tips just a little browner. And it's just the perfect amount of cooking to this that just goes on this. It's just fantastic. So I'm gonna get that in the toaster oven. Now I'm gonna just sort of prep this stuff up. I like to get all the tips and all the links just exactly where they belong, like that, there. And then I'll cut this off right about there, because it gets, you can eat this part, but it gets sort of stringy as it gets down further. I like just a little bit of the stem past the asparagus tips. And then this is the oyster mushroom. So I'm just going to leave this in here in the bottom along with this. Both of these are in the bottom just like that. And then I take some water, not a lot, but enough to create some steam and steam this stuff up here. So there's the water, if you can see that. I don't know if you can or not. It's right there. But it's just enough. I don't want to overcook any of this stuff. It's like a microwave blanching. It's really a great technique. Works well. Don't have to heat up a bunch of water and dump it in. It's fast. It's efficient. It's just low energy to do it, and it gets it done. It gets the job done perfectly. So my pasta is already made. So that's here. I make my pasta a pound at a time. Gives me about 7 9-ounce servings wet, and that's by the weight. And so I have that all ready. That'll go back in this bowl once this stuff comes out and it's done. So I'm going to put this in. I'll be back in about 12 minutes, but it'll actually seem like nothing because that's the magic of video. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And you can, garlic smells so good. So the beauty of this is this foil really isn't hot. And you'll see what I mean when I take this out of here. I just pull it up and I can touch the foil without any problem because the aluminum cools off so quickly. That ramekin is hot and you don't want to be touching that at all. That is like extremely hot. But you could just see the browning, golden browning that's all infused in that olive oil. Just fantastic. Man, it smells so good. Okay, pasta. This goes in first. And this just works beautifully. I already thawed this out, which was really wonderful. So, just kind of get it fluffed up there real nice. Here's the mushrooms. See how beautiful. They just came out blanched beautifully. So I'm going to cut them up a little bit. So take off some of these. I love oyster mushrooms. These are like one of my favorite mushrooms of all time. These portobellos. I do like shiitakes, probably not as much. Even the stem down below here is just beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to just put these right on top of the pasta, just like that. Oh, yes. Look at that. That's just beautiful. Okay, and then my asparagus, you see how beautiful it is? It's still crispy, but not raw. So it's just fantastic. And I like to just take these around here, kind of like point them up and around, just to get this sort of like really decorative looking, so it looks good. Food needs to look good. And I'll just take my 3 meatballs and I'll pile them right on top of all that. It's in here. So get them stuffed into just beautiful like that. And there will be a picture up here. You'll be able to see that when this is all done. Okay. Now I'm going to pour my garlic over the top of all this. There's the oil goes on and then the garlic just gets piled. Oh, look at that. Can you believe that? How beautiful that is. Oh. Wow. My mouth is watering. You'll be able to see it anyway when it's all done, but just so you have a look at it there. Oop. Rolling away meatball. Okay. Let's put the stuff on, our garnish or whatever you want to call it. I just call it herbs. So let's put the herbs on top, which is just great. So I just trim this cilantro off just like this beautifully, get it all over. I like, this is all to your taste, whatever you like. Even I will put a little bit of salt and pepper here at this point too, just because there's some in the garlic, but just a tiny bit makes the whole thing come together. And again, this is all up to you. I watch my salt all day long, so I know how much I can use where. And a lot of things come with salt. There's some sodium in the meatballs, obviously, because they're a frozen item that you buy. So, and then a little black pepper. I don't like this to be overpowering, but I do like it on there. I'll even put a little bit more olive oil around the outside edge, just to make sure I got it on all of my pasta, just like that. It's very little. The whole thing is maybe a tablespoon of olive oil. For me, I just don't care because I just love it so much on here. So we're gonna now do some onion. Like that, and a little bit more because that's just not enough. That's good. And now, what I love about this, I just take these 2 big basil leaves and I'm just going to roll them up. Now I'll do this on a plate because once you do this and then cut them, they have a tendency to want to sort of stick together. And I just like to loosen them up around the whole meal, or whole bowl. So I just do this angled chiffonade. Just works so beautiful with a pair of scissors. I tell you, this is just fantastic. Okay, so there it is. Now we just get these all beautifully strung, nice, just like that. Oops, get that one off of there, stuck on my finger. And I just drop this all over the top of this. And you can just imagine what this smells like. That basil just opened up right there, the garlic, and oh, wow, that's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. You're just going to love this dish when you make it. It's just so simple. The whole thing, coming back here, you're talking about to the, once it was cooked and all, or just heating up and whatever it was doing, you're talking about 10 minutes. That's all this whole thing took to make. Now, there was some pre-prep. Obviously, I made the pasta, but that's it. Nothing else was really made except for the pasta. So there it is. You can see that. I'll uncover the meatball a little bit there. So, and I'll have an actual still photo up there. So, I'm FOODMAKER V. And remember, the best investment you can ever make is an investment in your health. I'll see you next time.